Hey everyone, and thanks for joining me as I rank the seasonal common gems. I did this because there are some really valuable gems to go through, and I think it's important to be aware of these during trading. So as I said, some of these common seasonal gems are actually as valuable as a legendary, or at least a really good seasonal epic like Candy Corn and maybe even Monster Blood. So I'm going to take a little time to focus on the most valuable season common gems too. And if you saw my legendary hammer value video, you already know how I'll go about ranking these, and if you haven't watched it yet, you should definitely check it out. So I broke these seasonal gems into 3 categories. The first one is Christmas, and then Halloween, and the FF anniversary gems. And then I'll go through and rank the most valuable out of all of them. And I came up with this list of values after hundreds of hours of trading, and it's based on supply and demand. It's what I see people wanting in the chat, and then what I see that people are always saying is not for trade in their inventory. And of course, there's my own personal preference. So all of that means that you might disagree with me on a few of the values, and that's totally okay. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, but definitely leave me a comment and tell me what I got right and what you think I got wrong. So let's get into it. The first category is going to be Christmas, and we have Chimney and Yule Log, which I think are even gems as far as value and actually really useful for when you're Beast. The brown helps you sneak up a little bit easier, and although they're not the prettiest gems, they're actually pretty useful when you're playing Flee the Facility. And then we have Wreath and Snow. And again, these are pretty even gems, but Snow does have a hammer that goes with it, and that makes it a complete set. So I really like this one a lot, and the glitter is really pretty when you're wearing it in the game. And then we have Midnight Snow, which pairs nicely with a snowy night wrap hammer. And then following that, we have Midnight Snow is Iceberg. And after Iceberg, we have Winter Dusk. And I'd say each of these 3 are pretty comparable in value. If you notice someone's inventory and it looks like they're collecting everything seasonal, you might want to offer one of these up for an easy trade up so that their inventory is complete. Now moving on to the most valuable Christmas common gem. So this one is going to go to Rudolph Snows. This is part of the neon gems, and it's definitely the most valuable in the Christmas common gems, but it might even be the most valuable Christmas gem out of all of them. So keep this one and definitely only trade it if you're getting a seasonal epic hammer or a seasonal rare set at minimum. Now moving on to Halloween. This is my favorite section personally, and we're gonna start first with Bewitched, which I think is a really pretty color, and this one is a comparable gem value as, say, Nightmare Coal. And I like to wear Nightmare Coal with the neon black hammer a lot. They just go really well together. And then there's Monster Scars and Reptile. And both of these are comparable as well in my opinion, and you should definitely look to see who is collecting but missing these from their inventory. Plus, Reptile has a matching hammer, making it a really cool Halloween set. So I definitely think this set is worth more than any other common Halloween set, and I wouldn't trade it less than, say, an epic Halloween set, to be honest. Now for Pumpkin Star and Dark Star. These are really similar in value, and it comes down to who needs one of them. So often in the chat, I'll see people asking for one or the other, and you can definitely trade up with both of these gems. I personally like Dark Star a little bit better, so I usually hold on to that one for a really good trade up, but both of these are also part of the neon set, like Rudolph Snows. And so people are really wanting to collect all of them. So these 2 I think are pretty comparable in value, but definitely much more valuable than just a typical common seasonal gem. And now for the most valuable Halloween gem. Well, I have to be honest, I couldn't decide between Toxic and Ghost. Both of these are really in demand, and people will often trade even a legendary for either of these, especially if you have the Ghost set. So either of these gems on their own are worth a low range legendary in my opinion. And again, if you haven't seen the legendary value list, it'll help declare what a low range legendary is. But that might sound crazy to you, but no one will trade these usually. So when someone needs it for their inventory, you can definitely have them add a lot of great stuff before giving it up. For example, for Toxic, I got both a Monster Blood set and a Chocolate Treat set. And I've also traded my Toxic gem for the lower range legendaries like a Snowman Hammer and a Toy Elf Hammer. Not both of them at the same time, but I've gotten each of these hammers for one Toxic gem. And I've turned down a trade for Smash Bros or a regular legendary gem like Oof and MLG Pro. So I say, if you're trading your Toxic, go ahead and be a little greedy. People really, really want it, and you can certainly get something really great in return for that trade. So for Ghost set, I've gotten a Candy Corn set plus a Snowing set. And once I also traded 2 Ghost sets for a Santa's Chimney legendary set, and that was a really fun trade up. Now focusing on the FF Anniversary gem. So first you have Heat Core, which has a hammer to make the Heat Core set. And then there's Cyber Circuit, which also has a hammer to make a set. The Ice Core looks really good with the Cyber Circuit, and that makes a really cool looking set when you're playing in the game. And then we round this out with the Data Chip. And I'd say any of these 3 are comparable if you're needing one for your inventory, but as far as trading them out, the Data Chip has a slight edge over the others as far as which one is more valuable. But if you're wondering what the most valuable FF Anniversary gem might be, well, that one definitely goes to the Galaxy Clouds gem. I would say that the gem is even more valuable than its hammer counterpart. But for the Galaxy Clouds set, you should definitely watch the chat and see who needs it. And once you take a look at the person's inventory, see what you would like from them, and feel free to trade this set up for at least an epic seasonal set. But I've gotten those low-level legendaries for the Galaxy set too. People who want this will definitely pay for it with their inventory. So now that we broke down each of the categories of their most valuable gems, what is the overall ranking for all of them, you ask? Well, in 4th place, it's the Galaxy gem. This one is often asked for in chat, and you can definitely trade it up for something that you're needing for your own inventory. And in 3rd place, it's a tie between Pumpkin Star and Dark Star. So Rudolph's nose doesn't edge these out as being the most valuable common Christmas gem, because these 2 gems, the Pumpkin Star and the Dark Star, are still more valuable than the Rudolph's nose, even though they're in the same neon category. But you can trade them easily for an epic or rare seasonal set when people are looking for them. And so for the 2nd place, it's gonna go to Ghost Gem. I had to make a decision. I had to pick between the 2 for this ranking. So I did put Ghost as the 2nd place slot, although with the Ghost Hammer as a set, it is definitely just as valuable as a Toxic, which leads us to the number 1 common seasonal gem, and that is, of course, Toxic. This gem is in super high demand, and very few people are willing to trade it. So you should definitely hang on to yours until you're offered a trade that you really, really love. And personally, I love wearing the Ghost set, and I love wearing the Toxic gem. They just look really cool in the game, and usually all of my outfits match them. So these are the rankings from 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, so that you can trade with all of that knowledge, moving forward. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and it was helpful to you for trading. And if you did enjoy the info, please like the video, and then don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more info as I keep turning these out. And certainly leave me a comment with what you agree with and what you disagree with. And I really appreciate y'all hanging with me. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you back here again soon.